Dynamite Alot. A very heavy wrestling show. Compared to what we got in WWE this Tuesday and Monday, this was good. I'm not going to say it was perfect. Nah. There was stuff here that made no damn sense. First thing, we got Christian versus Adam Cole. First time we see them facing each other face to face. The crowd in Boston lost their shit. I gotta tell you, I've seen Christian wrestle. Not in person, but I've seen him. He's always been good. You see Adam Cole wrestle pretty good. But I didn't expect that people go crazy over both of them wrestling one another. I would have thought there'd be a little more of a spectacle when it comes to Christian dealing with Cole, but Christian really hasn't been pushed that heavily. He is trying to get Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus over, so there was no spectacle. And I think it kind of needed in this match. Not saying that the match was bad. It was a good match for what it was. And in the end, because Cole had to cheat a bit to win, it was what it was. Red Dragon started messing with Christian after that. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus come out, kind of painting by the numbers. They've been dealing with each other for a while. They've been painting by the numbers. And Christian was a little pissed off. He did not take getting poked in the eye very well. But then you see Jungle Boy doing a promo, which is good to see he's doing them now. Because before he refused to do them, now he is doing them, which is a good thing. There's one problem. Because they're getting so pissed off at Red Dragon, and that is Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, they're saying next week, look, we are tired with dealing with you. Why don't we have a match next week? We'll be challenging you, and we will be putting up our tag team titles. What? Mistake. Why are they going there with the tag titles? Why are they going against the rating system they set up? Now, I can understand they're doing it once, maybe 3 times or 4 times a year. I say 3 or 4 times a year. But now is not the time to do that. I do not agree with this. It's foolish to be putting up their titles without really meaning something. Red Dragon should not be getting this title shot. They should not be getting it. They got other people supposedly in the rating system they should be going through, but they're not doing it. Now, I've said this myself, and I've said this. If you go with something like a rating system like this, there's going to be times where you need to break it for storyline wise, or there's a situation where there's some people that are hurt and you can't do it, and you have to go off the rails of the rating system. I've said this, but in this situation, it makes no sense. You should not be throwing this right here, right now. You should make it mean something. Maybe the next pay-per-view would make more sense than actually doing this. You could have gotten Christian hurt because he had been getting his ass whooped in this match afterward. Why not make Christian get hurt? Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus are just so pissed off that Christian, their mentor, the guy who's currently the manager, is hurt and he can't wrestle. They could have done this storyline-wise. Why go there? Why? You have Christian act pissed off, putting water in his eyes, throwing it away, getting angry, and then Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy making this match without talking to Tony, without really going through the next team they're supposed to, or at least doing this before a pay-per-view. Hell, the Battle of the Belts is supposed to happen on the 16th. Why not set it up there? I'm just saying that it makes no sense to me personally. I know other people are going to be saying, oh, it's fine. I don't. Now, we got Samoa Joe versus Caster of the Acclaimed. And I got to say this. If anyone can't stand the Acclaim, you don't know what you're thinking. Because Caster did one hell of a job as a rap. He chewed out Joe, talking a little bit of WWE, a little bit of Impact Wrestling, and making it very clear that he loves that $1 billion scratch. Well, not $1 billion, at least near $1 million scratch from the WWE. He loves his money. And for his trouble caster from that rap, he got his ass whooped. Seriously whooped. Sanjay Dutt and the... Let me put it like that. When it came to Sanjay Dutt and Jay Lethal saying, "We love you, Joe, but where the hell have you been?" You got Jay Lethal saying, "Look, I've been trying to call you for 4 months. You don't seem to want to answer your phone, even though you know what a cell phone is. But you know what? You're supposed to be my mentor. I still love you. So I think it's next week or the week after, I'll be bringing you a gift. Because I still love you, I'm going to bring you a gift." Now, what does that mean? That could mean an ass whooping. Now, here's the thing. We don't know if Samoa Joe is going to be seen on ROH. Jay Lethal will probably be on ROH. Probably he will. Sanjay Dutt will probably show up on ROH. And I'm sure Samoa Joe will show up. But the question is going to be, how much will Samoa Joe show up on ROH? Because they're going to have to do something with him. And if they got no room, they're going to be transitioning back and forth. That's going to be the question. How much are they going to show Samoa Joe? And I'm sure there's going to be people, and then one of the two of the people in my comments are going to say, "Oh, here comes Samoa Joe. This just shows how bad AEW is." Forget it. Don't even leave me a comment, because I'm not going to answer to you. You can leave as many comments as you want, as long as you don't bother everybody there. I'm not going to answer you. You can say what the hell you want, which shows I don't care. Joe coming to AEW or Impact Wrestling is a good thing. At least he can still wrestle. He was supposedly injured at one point. Then they threw him off TV. I'm just glad to see Joe wrestling. That's all I care about. If he's on MLW, if I could have watched. If he's on AEW, I'm going to watch. If he's on Impact, I'm going to watch. Hell, it would be interesting if he went to NWA. If he had gone to NWA, I think that would surprise a lot of people and make a lot of interest. Joe may not make the needle move for NWA a lot, but he will move the needle a little bit. I kind of wish he went there if he's not going to Impact, or better yet, AEW. Billy Corgan got a little bit scratched. He could have paid him a little bit, and maybe that would have given a little more interest to NWA, which they kind of need. I'm just saying. Now, let me put it to you like this when it comes to Eddie and Santana Ortiz. The fight in the back was good. Wasn't bad. The talk was good. Now, let me educate you on site. If you don't know what Eddie Kingston, Santana Ortiz was saying on site, they did explain it ahead of time, but just in case you don't get it. What on site means in New York, flat out, we're in a war. And no matter if we see innocent people in the way of getting to you, we'll nail innocent people to get to you. That's actually happened in New York, where if it comes to people who live in the projects and some of the gangs, clearly the gangs do kind of have a little bit of a certain conduct. If they're going to take you out, they don't like taking out innocent bystanders every single time. They want to take you out. But when it reaches a certain point, the moment they know where you are, and they don't care who it is, they're going to nail your ass, and they'll take everybody else with you. They'll nail you, and they'll nail members of your family. They try not to, because even gang members do have a code of honor. But what they're saying is, we don't care. We're coming after you no matter if you're with your families or not. Boyfriend or their girlfriends, maybe, or not. They don't care. They're going to nail you flat out, and the crowd was going crazy for Eddie. I still say this, and I still believe this. Eddie, as a babyface at this point, must, by the end of the year, try to go for the TNT title and win it. Yes, many people think Hook should go for the TNT title. I don't believe so. He did have a video package. Hook only has one title he needs to go after. Just one. And that's against Ricky if he keeps holding it to the end of the year. And that is the FTW title. He must get that damn title. It is his destiny to get it because it's his father's legacy. And by him getting it will give him a chance to really know what it's like to be a champion, even if he isn't one. The FTW title is prestigious because of what Taz did with it. So he must go after that title first before TNT or any tag titles or nothing. If he does not go after that, it's dumb. So Eddie must go after the TNT title eventually because it makes the best sense. I'm just saying. Scorpio Sky, you better get ready because Eddie should go for you. Now, we had Shawn Spears versus Captain Shaun Dean, an actual captain of, I believe, the Army. Maybe the Army, you don't know. Because the Army has captains just like the Navy and the Air Force have captains. So, what do we have here? This was setting up a little bit of a story for Captain Shaun Dean, for Wardlow, for Spears, and for MJF. Supposedly, MJF has been beaten by Dean. Now, Shawn Spears was getting a shot to try and correct what happened with MJF. Wardlow comes out, started beating the crap out of all the security. I feel sorry for them. They were just going, getting their asses destroyed. The distraction helped Captain Shaun Dean to get the win. And then after that, when Wardlow had been taken by the police, and then he was happy that Captain Shaun Dean won, you got the segment in the back. Let me put it to you like this. What does this lead to? It leads only to one thing. It must lead to one thing. And if it doesn't lead to one thing by the next pay-per-view, this makes no sense. Guys, Wardlow is still under contract. He's not released. Him keep going after MJF means absolutely nothing. He must be released from the contract or he'll be sued by MJF, which he will not have enough money to be able to pay for it. That's what this is going by. So there must be a stip. The stip is Wardlow's freedom at a pay-per-view. He faces MJF. If he wins, he's free from his contract and he can be hired by Tony Khan. If he loses, he stays in this situation and it doesn't change. That is where this must lead to. Now, hopefully he's going to go there by the pay-per-view that's coming up. I don't remember which one it is. But it must. It's got to be all in, isn't it? That's the next one, isn't it? All in? It should be. So it must be that. I'm just saying. Now, here's a match that made no damn sense. Sheeta versus Julia Hart. Now, I don't mean it makes no damn sense for Sheeta because the match was not really that good because Sheeta is a better wrestler than Julia Hart. Julia is still very young in the business. Then after the match was over, because Sheeta won, you got her going up against Deebs, where Deebs has a chair, Sheeta has her kendo stick, and they stare each other down. Fine. They're still having a rivalry. It's understandable they are doing that. I don't 100% agree who should be the heel and who should be the face here, but I understand it. What the hell is going on with Julia Hart? What is this? The girl has most of her eye painted black under her eye. She's wearing a freaking eye patch. She just sent you... Calm down. You're supposedly doing something with Julia Hart where pretty much you want to move away from Brian Pillman Jr. and Garrison. And you had her send them to the back because she didn't want to deal with them. Now you have a lose to Sheeta. And instead of setting this up that Malachi Black could come out from the back or the lights can dim on and off and she starts freaking out, going with her new persona that is seeming to be developing, she gets her ass whooped. She rolls out of the ring and she just seems to be a freaking afterthought. It means nothing. What was the point of this match? For Julia Hart, you could have used somebody else for Sheeta. You could have used Red Velvet for Sheeta. You could have used one of the new women that's supposedly on Elevation or Dark for Sheeta to go through. And then still do it with Deebs. And you could have done something with Julia Hart. You did nothing. And I don't care if anyone says, dude, you need to see Dark. That's been set up. It means nothing if it's not done in Rampage or Dynamite. Not everyone looks at Dark Elevation. It's the reason why you got Rampage. The reason we got Dynamite. If you're showing her on TV, that means you're trying to do something with her. Why didn't you go all the way with it? I'm just saying, it made no sense. And I'm not even for the storyline 100%. Yeah, it makes actual sense. You got sprayed in the eye, but I don't really care that much about Julia Hart. I kept forgetting her name because she was forgettable. The only thing she's been is a cheerleader for Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. I'm just saying. Now, the Hardys versus Butcher and Blade in a tables. This was a very interesting tables match that both members had to go for the table, and there had to be an offensive move. They couldn't just trick them into hitting a table. They had to be thrown into it or slammed into it or basically swanton through the tables. It happened. Now, at one point, it looked like Jeff might actually hurt himself at one point. I'm hoping he's fine, but it kind of looked like he might have got hurt before he did the ladder jump onto Blade. I'm hoping he's fine. But once the Andrade family office comes out, they're watching, they're looking, they're salivating, they're trying to get their hands on him. Here's the question. Yes, Sting comes out because Darby Allin is not there. He's supposed to have gotten his ass whooped. He did. But where's a woman to deal with Bunny? That's the question. You got something going on with the Hardys. You got something going on with Darby Allin. And when it comes to Sting. But where's someone for the Bunny? Bunny is part of the office. Why don't they have someone for Bunny to face as well? It'll be helpful for the Hardys, the Sting and Darby Allin. They need a woman there. So where's the woman? And that leads me to Jade Cargill and her, what did she call them? Where's Jade? Jade and her baddies. Her baddies section. They show up some women. They're cute women. And here's the question. When it comes to Shara Fear, I believe her name is Shara Feel. The question's going to be, when this match finally happens, will it be at a pay-per-view or will it be on a Rampage like it's been doing? Because they're trying to make her mean something. The question's going to be, will it be at a pay-per-view so she gets a 30th win? Because just doing it on a Rampage, yeah, that seems like something. But if you're setting this up for more than 2 weeks, that means it's got to be set up for a pay-per-view. So the question is going to be, will Saphir, that's I believe her name is, Saphir, is going to come out, attack Jade, and they're going to set this up for a pay-per-view because it's going on now 2 weeks or 3 weeks that Saphir is being set up for the next match, which will be the 30th match for Jade Cargill. Now, did Jade look sweet in that sweet-ass clothes of hers? Yeah. Curvy ass. Nice boobs. Is someone going to say she woke? She's a black woman. I'm making this very clear to anybody. Many black women act freaking woke. They think they're better than anybody's ass. White, Asian, Spanish. They think they're better than anybody. Black women are woke in most cases. Does that make them bad? No. They just believe they're better than everybody else, and they're going to set up everything else for themselves. I should know is married to one. It's going to be about them. But will this work for the storyline? Yes, that's just how Jade is. That bad bitch, she is that way. That is her attitude. That is the way she functions. That is the way she works. She's going to put over women before anything else. And she's going to be in tight-ass clothes, showing those tits and ass. So if she's someone who is woke and a feminist, wearing some tight-ass clothes like that, feminists don't do that. So she ain't no damn feminist. She's just going by storyline. Deal with it to anyone down below. You don't like it? Don't watch the show and don't watch me. I say this again. If you don't like it and you complain about wokeness, don't watch the show and don't watch me. Comment down there saying I'm going to answer. I ain't answering. I may be saying it here, but I ain't going to answer your ass no more. I'm done. Now, let's go to the final match. And that is FTR versus the Bucks for not only the ROH tag titles, but the AAA tag titles. Interesting. Was this a bad match? Hell no, it wasn't. It was a great match. Just like many of the matches here were very good matches. I'm making sure I don't forget any. Did I forget any matches here? No, that's basically all the matches that was on the show generally. And this was the best match of the show. It was. A ladder match a lot of people did love, but it was a ladder match, not just straight up wrestling. Like I said, this is heavy wrestling. And they made this about heavy wrestling. In the end, FTR managed to retain. The question is now, what do they do with FTR? They're generally showing their turn face. The only thing I haven't done is go away from MJF and Shaun Spears. They just haven't done it yet. The question is, when are they going to go against the Pinnacle? And what are you going to do with them while they're doing it? Are you going to have them face other people from other promotions? I know they're going to be in RH because they're holding RH titles. Will we see Triple A little bit on AEW? Because, see it like this, guys. We know AEW is working with Triple A. That's the reason why they're holding those titles. We do not see a match from Triple A pre-recorded for Dynamite or Rampage. At least a small snippet of about, a minute? We don't need to show any type of pay-per-view. Just a snippet of them defending the damn titles. Now, if they can't leave the country due to the restrictions like in Mexico because of what's going on with COVID, that's understandable. But they need to make it really mean something, which they have been. But we need to see more AAA. AAA needs to be defended. Now, if I remember correctly, the Mega Championship is still being held by Kenny Omega. I could be wrong. But I do believe he's still holding that title. And I do believe when he comes back, he should be defending it more often. Show more AAA's own titles because you are working with them. What is the reason for even doing anything if these people are not cared about? Look what's going on Impact Wrestling. They are defending the Dorena's title. They're letting her do it. That is Deonna Purrazzo. So I'm hoping they will do that. And I hope you enjoyed this Dynamite Delight. Please give me a comment below. There are no images in this. I want to upload this with my intro as quickly as possible just to see if you guys rather see me do this instead of adding images every single time. Peace.